Okay, so ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Awesome. So today we're looking at the Wherewithal Development Foundation.
Interesting group.
Yeah, they are.
Definitely.
Homelessness is such a it's a tough issue, right?
Huge problem.
It really is. And so what we're going to try to do today is really kind of unpack how this organization is trying to do things a little differently.
Yeah, they're really trying to get at the root of it.
Yeah, and looking for those long-term solutions.
Absolutely. Not just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Right, exactly. Everyone wants to say end homelessness, but how do you actually do that?
Right.
And one of the things that really kind of caught my eye with Wherewithal was this emphasis on community integration.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing that made me want to really learn more about them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Right.
Like, practically speaking, what does that look like?
So it's really a shift from like that traditional idea of a shelter, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about giving someone a bed for the night.
Right, right.
It's about, thinking long term, like how do we help this person build a sustainable life?
Mm-hmm.
So, that might mean helping them get job training, connecting them with mental health services, maybe substance abuse counseling, if that's an issue.
Okay.
And the idea is to like really help them reintegrate into their community, build those connections and find stability within that existing network.
This is more about kind of like empowering people to rebuild their lives within their community as opposed to just like providing a temporary safe haven.
Exactly. Exactly. They're really focused on that long-term empowerment.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But I also imagine that, that kind of personalized approach, that's got to be
Resource intensive.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of staff,
Right.
a lot of, just kind of manpower.
Yeah.
But that's where, that commitment to collaboration really comes in. So they work directly with individuals, sit down with them, talk to them, understand what their specific needs are and what their goals are, what are their aspirations, where do they want to be?
Oh, wow.
And then they work with them to create these personalized plans.
So are they going out and finding like all new resources, or are they like tapping into things that already exist within the community?
They definitely tried to leverage existing resources as much as possible.
Okay.
They partner with local businesses, community organizations, faith-based groups, things like that.
Good.
They've got this program actually called the Community Integration Initiative.
Right.
And they work with local businesses to provide job training and job placement for their clients. And they've actually seen some pretty amazing results from that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like a 15% increase in stable housing for participants.
Wow, that's significant compared to, just a traditional shelter model.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. Yeah, so it's really showing that, this focus on integration and building those connections can really make a big impact.
Okay, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
But, even with all of that, even with the best plan in the world,
Right.
staying on track can be tough.
Absolutely. It's not easy.
Life happens.
Right.
Things come up, right?
Yeah, there's going to be bumps in the road.
So does Wherewithal kind of address that?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Okay.
They're really big on what they call aftercare.
Okay.
Which is essentially, they don't just help someone find housing and then say, okay, good luck.
Right.
They stick with them.
Yeah.
They provide ongoing support
Okay.
to help them navigate all the challenges that come with, independent living.
Mm-hmm.
So that might include, things like financial literacy workshops,
Right.
helping them create a budget, manage their money, connecting them with support groups. So they can build relationships with other people who are going through similar things.
So it's really like a holistic.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the word. It's not just about putting a roof over someone's head.
Right.
It's about supporting the whole person.
The whole person, yeah.
Mind, body, spirit, all of it.
I mean, that's got to be so much more effective.
Oh, yeah.
Long term.
Much more effective.
Yeah.
It's about addressing the root causes of homelessness, not just the symptoms.
And who are they working with specifically? Like, is it a particular demographic?
No, they work with all sorts of people.
Right.
They work with youth who are aging out of foster care,
Right.
veterans who are struggling with PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
families who have, faced some unexpected hardship, job loss, eviction, things like that.
Sure.
So it's really a wide range.
Yeah. And it's interesting, you talk about their values, respect, inclusivity, this holistic approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the core of their philosophy.
Yeah.
And it really comes through in everything they do.
So, community integration sounds great in theory,
Right.
but I also wonder, like, what about those who might actually need to relocate?
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah, not everyone has a strong support network in their current community.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, the best opportunities might be elsewhere.
Exactly.
Maybe there's a city with more jobs in their field or more affordable housing.
Right.
So Wherewithal, they actually recognize that.
Okay.
And they're not opposed to helping people relocate if that's what's best for them.
Okay.
It really comes down to that individualized planning process.
Got it.
Working with each person, figuring out what's going to work best for their unique situation.
So it's not like community integration at all costs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about, finding the best path forward for each individual. And sometimes that means staying put, and sometimes it means, venturing out to someplace new.
Okay, so they're flexible. They're adaptable, which is, that's probably key to actually making this kind of approach work.
Definitely. One size doesn't fit all.
Right.
When it comes to homelessness.
Well, and I'm also kind of curious, you keep talking about community and this idea integration.
Yeah.
But are there enough strong communities, strong support networks out there to really make this model work on a large scale?
That's a really good question.
Like, is this something that we can actually replicate everywhere?
It's a challenge for sure.
Right.
Because it does rely on, having those existing support systems in place.
Yeah.
It relies on communities being willing to embrace this approach.
Right. And not everybody is.
Exactly.
Not every community is set up for that.
Exactly. So there are definitely limitations, it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
But I think, the work that Wherewithal is doing really shows that it's a challenge worth taking on.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point.
Because when it does work,
Yeah.
the results can be truly transformative.
Yeah, no, and that's what we're all hoping for, right?
Absolutely.
We want to see those long-term sustainable changes.
Exactly.
So, the Wherewithal Development Foundation, they're definitely making us think differently
For sure.
about how we approach homelessness, right?
Yeah.
They're really challenging those traditional ideas.
Big time.
And instead, they're really emphasizing human connection and empowerment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Not just these like temporary fixes.
But that's what sets them apart.
Yeah. It's a pretty powerful model.
It is.
And it really kind of makes you wonder, could we apply this community-focused holistic approach to other social challenges that we're facing?
Now there's a thought.
Yeah.
Like that.
Food for thought, right?
Definitely.
So, yeah, it's really, really interesting stuff. And I think, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on Wherewithal.
Agreed.
And seeing what they do in the future.
Yeah, they're definitely ones to watch.
Definitely ones to watch.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for diving in with me today.
My pleasure. Always a good time.
All right. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.